Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to week one, a late week one of the SPDL Season 5 league that we are a part of. Week one, we were going up against Iraz. I'm not going to show his team. We're going to go into our prep, and then we're going to watch the replay, and then we have some cool things to talk about because we did a little bit. Week one, we're going against Iraz. Haven't played him before. I heard he's a very, very talented player, which is really cool. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and just get into the team we brought. So the biggest threats to our team was a Mega Venusaur and then a Galarian Darmanitan were the two big ones I think this week. And then some smaller ones like Lantern and all that. Those are all an issue. But D-Dance Hydreigon really helped us out here this week. Dragon Dance, Rock Slide, Crunch, Dual Wing Beat. Dual Wing Beat will let me 2-hit KO. Fully Fizzdeath Mega Venusaur after +1. With the E-Belt, Crunch is just for stab. Rock Slide is for the Galarian Darmanitan. Of course, I'm expecting that thing to be Scarfed. He has a Crocodile, but I don't think it's coming. And this mon is actually just super good. It can set up for the most part on Mega Venusaur, as in it can set up a DD and then Dual Wing Beat twice and just take it out, and then take something down with it if that's the case, which is really cool to have because after that +1, nothing's really switching anything to on his team. Next we have Lost to Klefki, Light Clay with Reflect, Light Screen, Thunder Wave, Foul Play. The issue where I have with this team is we don't really have a super reliable Ice Craft switch, and as you can see, Pancake is going to be our best option. But of course, I am neutral to that, and Darmanitan is extremely powerful. So Klefki with Reflect, Light Screen, Thunder Wave, Foul Play lets me live anyone attack from that thing after the Reflect is up, and also helps support the rest of my defensive roster, along with Hydreigon, helping us set up with the screens. Wave is there to slow down Darm, any faster mons, or even just to mess up and trip up the Venusaur or the other things that are on the team. Pancake is Body Press, Scald, Roost, Toxic. This is for our once the screens are up, this will be our primary defensive check for his Cinderace and his Darmanitan, which are both absolutely completely great this game, along with this Crocodile. This will take care of Crocodile as well after screens are up for sure. Body Press is for Darm and Crocodile. Scald is for Cinder and the other two as well, but Body Press will be doing more damage. Toxic is there to maybe trade off Toxic on the Lantern or something or other, or just to get a Toxic off on Switch or Licky Licky. This also can 3-8 KO Licky Licky. I believe it 2 KOs after rocks or something, but after a little bit of chip, like 18% chip, it'll 2 KO. Next is Focus Stoke Trio with Arena Trap, Earthquake, Reversal, Sucker, Memento. This thing is really cool because it helps out our team a lot. He has a Stormy, which could be a huge issue for our primary breaker this game, so getting that Sucker Punch chip in is really cool because it means it really can't switch into our breaker and sweeper. Earthquake is really good because he has a Lantern, and Lantern is actually a really big problem in this game. As you can see, Zeraora and Caesar both get tripped up by Lantern quite a bit, so having that Earthquake thing just to get in there and go ahead and do that is really big. Also, it can help us revenge kill Darm if Darm gets a good lead against us, or Darm is out and takes him on, going straight into Doug Trio, Earthquaking into Reversal or something or other. Could be really huge as well. Zeraora is Scarf this week as the lead. This gives us a good lead matchup against everything that's not Crocodile. I don't really see Crocodile coming this week, but it definitely could. It is good this game. Yeah, Plasma Fist knockoff, Close Combat, Volt Switch. It just hits very standard, hits a lot of his team. CC, yeah, it's just our lead this week. Next is Caesar. Modest Overheat with Vacuum Wave, Earthquake, and Nasty Plot. After +2, this lets me Oko. What is it? Why am I tripping? Venusaur, Mega Venusaur. Earthquake 2 KO's Lantern, and Vacuum Wave lets me take care of his. He has a, what do you call that thing? That like snowflake ice guy that no one cares about, and then the Darmanitan, of course, the Crocodile. This stops it from cycling Intimidates. After the Nasty Plot, Vacuum Wave will kill that as well. It has an issue with the Starmie, but after Sucker Punch Chip, Starmie can't switch into a +2 Overheat. It can't switch into a Blaze boosted Overheat, which is why we're actually mild instead of the negative SPDF nature, because it'll let us the negative defense lets us get into Blaze a little bit easier if we're running against something that can take hits, because Blaze is going to be pretty cool this game, especially if we're in a situation where Nasty Plotting up is going to be a little bit more difficult. Yeah. So that is the team we are indeed bringing this week. Let me go ahead and I pulled up the replay. Yep. So this is the matchup this week. As you can see, he brings the Lantern, Mega Venusaur, the Cinderace, the Licky, the Darm, and the Starmie. So right away, as long as we can get rid of that Starmie, Ape is looking really good. Zero is looking very good. Hydra looks good as well. The Licky, if it's fully SPDF for Hydra, which is what I was expecting, after a little bit of chip, like I said, it gets 2 KO'd by why am I tripping? By Hydra. And yeah, so looking at the lead matchup, of course, I was expecting the Darm get in, U-turn out. So I went ahead and led my Zero Aura, which is Scarfed. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry. So I go ahead and lead Zero Aura on his Darmanitan, and I go ahead and just click CC right away. We're both Scarf. Of course, he was expecting it. So turn 1, we go ahead and remove that Darm, which was a massive problem for our team. He sends in Venusaur, of course, forcing me out. I gotta get out of there. It's Hydra. He, I believe, Earth Powers right away. Nope, he's Sleep Powder. So I switched to a Sleep Powder. My thought process here... I'll just go back to normal. I'm a fast talker. My thought process here was that if I went ahead and I could go ahead straight into Hydra, I can set up a SD and force it out at least. And when I fell asleep, I figured since Venusaur isn't really doing more than 32-ish% to me, burning that turn of sleep is going to be super valuable. So I decided to go ahead and stay in here and just try burn the turn of sleep. Unfortunately, he crits me, do 63, so it would have done around 31, 32, which is unfortunate. And it comes to me later, but I get in here and put my screens up, which is huge. And then he Volt Switches out, reveals Volt Switch. I expected it. It's not a big deal. Cinderace comes out, which means we have to go into Mantine. He's going to reveal Super Fang, which is just cool prep on his part, but I'm not too worried about it since I'm just roosting up here every time anyway. Goes back into Lantern. Electric move is pretty obvious here, so I go ahead and... Well, actually, yeah. The electric move wasn't obvious, so I went ahead and tried to... the reason electric move wasn't obvious is because it kind of let in... well, Toxic is just more reliable with both screens up. Mantine's pretty big SPDF bulk, and then Lantern not exactly having like the greatest special attack, and most likely not being invested in any way. Pancake was going to be taking a ton of damage. So we tried to trade Toxic here, but of course I missed. I knew that most likely he had Heal Bell, but having the Toxic off and forcing him to Heal Bell for a move would have been really cool. But of course we missed the Toxic. So two unlucky things so far. Not looking great for me. I go back into Klefki on the Toxic. Then I go into Dugtrio on the Volt Switch. My rationale here is because Lantern is such a problem for Infernape and Zero Aura that just getting it out of the game would be really huge, especially against Hydreigon now that it's super low. Getting burned is really bad for us. So yeah, we go ahead and we click Earthquake. Of course, they called me 30% in high school, so I go ahead and get burned on the first try, but at least the Lantern's gone. Construction Sucker Punch is doing around 30% to Starmie still yet, which means that either +2 Infernape or Blaze Overheat is going to be killing, or Blaze Overheat into Vacuum Wave kills, so I wasn't too worried about it. Additionally, going ahead. Reversal is still going to be doing an okay amount to Licky Licky. Earthquake is still going to be doing an okay amount to Cinderace. We have that Scarstera Aura around now, so it wasn't the biggest of deals, but it really is. It was unfortunate. Vito comes out. I go back into Klefki to put my screens back up. He Sludge Bombs. Actually, I Thunder Wave. That was a good play by me. I Thunder Waved on the potential switch into Cinderace, but of course he didn't switch, so I go ahead and put up my screens. So those are good. But now Klefki's a little. I probably could have saved that. But now I go into Cerberus to try and burn off more sleep turns. I sleep for 2 turns, and then I wake up this turn. This is a misplay. I got a little greedy here and went for the D-Dance, but without the D-Dance, I would have been doing like 30%, and it wouldn't have really affected too much. Had I D-Danced there, it would have been really good for us though. Had I woken up the previous turn, or he got parried, or it would have been really cool. This is why that crit really sucks, because if I wasn't crit there, I would have been able to get up a few more D-Dances and probably won the game right there, which just sucks, but it happens. I go into Ape here, and then I switch back out into Pancake because I went into Ape there because I don't know why I went into 8th there. Oh no, I went into 8th there because I wanted to get Starmie in on Pancake, maybe. What did I want? I went into Ape on the Venu and then switched out because I figured maybe he was expecting Fire Move or something. I don't know why I did that. I switched out because I didn't want to get hit by that Earth Power. It wouldn't have put me in Blaze, so nasty plotting up wouldn't have been like super helpful at that time. I mean, it would have, but I was afraid he'd go hard Starmie, and then my nasty plot wouldn't mean anything. So I get a Toxic off on the Starmie, which is cool. It's Natural Cure, so it doesn't matter on the flip turn. I go back out into Klefki, and I'm going to be able to get my light screen back up, I think. No, I go into Mantine on the Earth Power, which is fine. So the situation right now is still pretty good. As long as I can get like 30% chip on Starmie, 8+2 can't be switched into by anything on a team. It can be switched into Licky, but of course Earthquake plus, you know, Vacuum Wave, all of that eventual chip, we can whittle that down. I actually think that right now the trio trapping Licky and reversing for like that 20% or whatever it would do is really cool too. Let me find it. Doug Trio, I'm around 44. Yeah, I wouldn't have done a lot, but like I said, I only need a little bit of chip on that thing. So yeah, I go ahead and Scald the Starmie. He reveals Thunderbolt, I believe. Nope. Yes, he does reveal Thunderbolt, which is good prep on his part. I go into Zero Aura here, and I Volt Switch out, I believe. Yeah, I Volt Switch out into my Infernape. So this is where things kind of go bad. I Nasty Plot twice. If I Nasty Plot twice, I can take 2 hits of anything he has for me. So I could Nasty Plot twice here, or I could Nasty Plot and then Overheat, and just remove Licky Licky. And even if once I remove Licky Licky, even if he comes in with Starmie, I can sack Dougie, go back into Zera, and then Volt Switch out, and then Caesar's back in again. And Caesar would be in Blaze, because I can take 2 of that negative bold nature lets me get into Blaze for sure every single time, which is really cool. But unfortunately, on the Nasty Plot, he go ahead and body slams and paralyzes me. As you can see, the paralyze or the damage for Blaze would have put me well within Blaze around here without the crit. I know that banking on Blaze or calcing for Blaze is risky, but as you can see here, the things I'm setting up on aren't always the most reliable. I was getting 1 to 2 Nasty Plots maybe, and having that Blaze as an option in the late game for me was really important. But now at this point, once this para happened, I'm kind of running out of ways to win. Ape is going to need to take 1 more. I have to leave it in here and let it take 1 more body slam because I'm going to need a little bit more chip on Venu anyway, and I won't be able to Nasty Plot on Venu anymore because I don't have screens and he has Earth Power. So I need to let this take 1 more, and then my chances for winning are slim. Either Ape has to get Vino down really low, that Zera could plasma sweep, and I got to sack Dougie along the way. So I go ahead and let it stay in. I went to overheat here. Double overheat would have, I believe, killed. If we look at Ape at +2 overheat would have done 66 minimum, and then overheat in Blaze would have finished it off. So that's really unfortunate for us. Like I said, even though he does have 2 mons that outspeed it, getting rid of this mon, getting rid of the Licky Licky is really big, because that means it forces in either Cinder or Starmie, and once I have that Blaze activated, Venu is no longer safe. So if I sack, say Zera Aura comes in and Volt switches out on the Venusaur, Caesar comes in with the Blaze boosted power and then just removes it, and means that Starmie can only switch into it twice. So that's really sucky. I'm in Blaze now, so there's kind of a chance I gotta switch out now that I can't risk that. He Toxic on the Licky. I go ahead and get that chip off, I believe. Or no, I try to body press to get that chip off to help me out here. But unfortunately, it doesn't work out that way. So I'm running out of ways to win at this point. I can't let anything really take a Toxic because it hit revealed Thunderbolt, or a Psychic because it revealed Thunderbolt. I go into 0, I CC. He's sacking the Licky. I believe he was sacking the Licky back when Ape was in front of it, which was really good for us, actually. I think I already explained why, but yeah, he sacks the Licky Licky, which is unfortunate. I go into Ape here to try and make something happen on a double to Venu, but of course it doesn't work out. He has no reason not to, and he Thunderbolts me here. I could have gone Zera, but at that point, Venu comes in every single time, and I have no reliable way to beat it anymore. Especially since he does have Starmie and Licky together. So yeah, really unfortunate. I double back into Zera than the body slam. I mean, this is my only chance. He's sacking this thing at this point. I was of course really upset about that para and inability to keep, even if I didn't exactly get to kill, being in Blaze without the para and not, being slower or risking missing would have been really cool. But now I can't even switch into Ape here unless he gets para'd, and even then I have a chance to be para'd. So yeah, Venusaur is going to take out Zero Aura, and then I guess to come in here and overheat, take this, or actually we both get paralyzed. Good turn. Yeah, good turn. And then we overheat and it drops. Cinderace misses, but whatever, but at this point the game's over. So yeah, really unfortunate week 1 for us, especially with that para. All those calcs. I knew Licky was coming. I knew a few things were coming, but that negative defense nature was really useful for me, getting us into Blaze. Even on a flip turn, it would have been really huge. So yeah, that para really sucked. I think I could have played maybe a little better before the para, but I think after that para, there really wasn't too much I could have done. I'm sure early game, maybe not being as greedy with the Hydra could have been useful. But after this para, everything just becomes a chance. Even if I did play perfectly and made all the right calls, and it would require him to mess up at that point, which is never a great win con. The burn on the Dougie, I guess that could have been a little bit different, but again, Lantern was a problem for an Ape, and I was not banking, but I really wanted to get in Blaze. So if I was in that situation, Lantern coming in every time, or something dying and the Lantern coming in, having that ability for him to switch into 3 mons after to force Ape out really wasn't something I was excited about. Plus the Sucker Punch chip with a burn would have put Starmie in range of the Blaze overheat into Vacuum Wave, or the +2 overheat anyway. So he would have lost that switch in. But yeah, I mean, good game to Iraz. Nothing against him, of course. Still an excellent coach. Very good prep on his part. It was just unlucky for our first week to go down the way it did with that para and all that. hopefully next week we go against Slim. But oh yeah, but yeah, absolutely, like GG to Raz. I'm sorry if I came off a little bit salty. I was definitely disappointed with the luck of the draw here, especially with that crit on Hydra. If I hadn't been crit, I might have been able to take the game a little earlier, or at least opened up a few mons. That burn was unlucky. The toxic miss was unlucky, but you know what can you say? It's just how we roll in the vanilla Snorlax world. But yeah, GG to Raz. Not trying to take away his win. He definitely prepped well for it, and he deserves it for sure. But before we talk about what we have to do, we actually made a few transactions. So I'm just gonna go ahead and pull up our team. So what inspired me to make these transactions was the PRs came out. Let me pull up those, because it does influence. It did in fact influence and help me really see what needed to be fixed. So we ranked, I believe, 11th, which is not horrible. All the teams were, I mean, I would say all the teams were really good this season, so it was really tough to rank them, I'd imagine. And yeah, it was probably really hard to rank them. Plus, it's my first league back in a while, so I wasn't expecting to be in, you know, the top 5 or anything. But as you can see here, it has the pros and cons list, which was good offensive presence, good hazard options, good momentum were my pros, and then my cons were no cleric, no grounded poison, no ghost, and then probably supports Manchester United. To be clear, I don't follow soccer or football or whatever you call it. I don't really like that sport too much. Nothing against people who like the sport, of course. I just don't enjoy it as much as I enjoy other sports. I just like to play on words, honestly. But the defensive options for my team weren't bad with Mantine, Tangrowth, Klefki. I would just say they were inconsistent. Of course, Tangrowth having that really bad spit F weakness makes it you know, a problem against mixed balls or mixed offensive threats and all that. And Mantine not needing to run boots, but heavily favoring boots in this metagame is pretty big as well. And of course, that no cleric leaves a lot of holes, I would say, on the team. So I went ahead and made some transactions, and we said goodbye to three really good mons that were on the team. So firstly, we went ahead and said goodbye to Mamoswine, and Mamoswine was something I really wanted to use this season, but we're not going to get the chance to, unfortunately. It wasn't even anything. It wasn't like Mamo didn't fit the team. I love the way Mamo fat on the team. The only reason I dropped it was because I needed a point. I needed one extra point, and I couldn't shave it off anywhere else. Or I couldn't justify shaving it off anywhere else. So Mamo had to go, unfortunately. In Mamo's place, though, we picked up Staraptor, which is a really good mon. Let me start a box here. We picked up Staraptor. The reason we did this is because the Mammo's role previously was that breaker. It was that priority. And while Raptor doesn't fit the same role as well as Mamo did, Reckless as an ability option is really, really good. Brave Bird, Facade, Double Edge, Close Combat, all those are really good moves. Quick Attack for a priority, Steel Wing, and U-Turn. Those are all things that are really important, along with Defog. And it was the closest thing that was left on the tiers that could presumably fill the role of a breaker. Fit the speed tier, and you know, it was sad to see him go, but ultimately Raptor fat best on the team with what we were trying to rebuild, what I was trying to rebuild with. Second thing we did was we dropped Hydreigon for Mega Altaria. The reason we did this is because our only fairy was the Klefki, and Klefki is a great mon, don't get me wrong, but it definitely could use some more fairy help. Additionally, Mega Tahari could also play that offensive role. It has D-Dance, of course, but more importantly, it gives us that Cleric, right? And having a dragon that's not weak to fairy is pretty cool, I think. Or having, well, not weak to fairy. Having that dragon, this typing is really good in general. Very good move pool. Of course, gets access to D-Dance, Toxic, Heal Bell, Wish. Oh, not Wish. But yeah, just having this mon here on the team with the Heal Bell support. Yeah, not Wish. I'm stupid. Is really good. Gives us a type of cleric, which is nice. So yeah, that's why we did that. Of course, defog as well. And yeah, gives us a little bit more bulk. And then lastly, we went ahead and I dropped Mantine for Suicune. Reason we did this is Suicune is infinitely better than Mantine, of course. Very great move pool. Excellent defensively, extremely good bulk, and it fits well with that Heal Bell user, that assistance defensively, since it does not have its own recovery. Having that Heal Bell support, having those teammates like Tangrowth and Altaria to kind of lean on and pivot off of is really cool. Of course, Rest is an option. Protect lefties is really cool. But yeah, those are the 3 transactions we made to the team. I'm going to think of nicknames. I'm going to name this thing Percy because I like that name. It's from Percy Jackson, obviously. The other 2 I'm not sure on, but yeah, those are the 3 transactions. And I'm looking, if you have an extra point, I am looking into another possible option that most likely will be happening. But yeah, that is it for now. Goodbye, God bless, and have a great day.